Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast for English learners. I'm Emma, and today we're going to talk about a topic that is very important in daily life and very useful for your English: professions. When you learn how to talk about jobs, you can speak about yourself, your family, and your plans for the future in a more confident way.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jack. I'm really happy to be here again. Professions are a great topic because they appear in so many conversations. You meet someone new, and very often one of the first questions is, "What do you do?" So today, we'll help you feel more comfortable with this kind of question.
Exactly, Jack. And remember, we will use clear and simple English, so don't worry if you are not advanced. This episode is for A2 to B1 learners, and our goal is to help you understand and enjoy listening while learning useful vocabulary.
That's right. We're going to speak slowly and clearly, and we'll also give examples from real life. This way, you can imagine real situations, like a job interview, a conversation with a friend, or even a trip abroad.
Let's start with a very basic idea. A profession is a job that a person does regularly to earn money. For example, a teacher teaches students, a doctor helps sick people, and a driver drives a car or a bus.
Yes, and many professions are easy to understand because the name tells you what the person does. A baker makes bread, a painter paints walls or pictures, and a waiter serves food in a restaurant.
That's a good point. Some professions are very traditional and exist in almost every country. For example, teachers, doctors, nurses, farmers, and shop assistants are jobs that people have had for many years.
And when you talk about professions in English, it's important to know that we usually use the verb to be. For example, I am a student, she is a nurse, or they are engineers.
Yes, that structure is very common and very useful. You can also add more information, like where you work. For example, I am a teacher and I work in a high school, or my brother is a mechanic and he works in a small garage.
I like that example because it shows how we can give more details. When you speak English, adding small details makes your conversation more natural and interesting, even if your vocabulary is simple.
Let's talk about office jobs for a moment. Many people work in offices as accountants, managers, or assistants. These jobs often involve working with computers, emails, and meetings.
Yes, and if someone works in an office, they might say, I work in an office from 9 to 5, or I work for a company in the city center. These are very common sentences.
Now, let's think about jobs that are more active or physical. For example, a construction worker builds houses, a cleaner cleans buildings, and a delivery driver brings packages to people's homes.
These jobs often include a lot of movement, and people usually work with their hands. So when we talk about them, we can say things like, he works outdoors, or she works on different places every day.
That's right. Another interesting group is jobs in healthcare. Doctors, nurses, dentists, and pharmacists all work to help people feel better and stay healthy.
And these professions often need special training or studies. So people might say, I studied for many years to become a doctor, or she is studying nursing at university.
Let's also talk about creative professions. Artists, designers, writers, and musicians use their creativity in their work. These jobs can be very different from one day to another.
Yes, and people with creative jobs often say they love their work because it allows them to express themselves. For example, I'm a graphic designer and I create logos and posters.
That sounds like a fun job. Now, Jack, what about jobs in technology? These days, many people work as programmers, web developers, or IT support.
That's true. Technology jobs are very popular now. Someone might say, I work in IT, or I'm a software developer and I write code for apps. Even if the job sounds complex, the sentence can be simple.
Good point. It's also useful to talk about part-time and full-time jobs. A full-time job usually means about 40 hours a week, while a part-time job means fewer hours.
Yes, for example, a student might say, I study during the day and I have a part-time job in the evening. This is a very common situation.
Let's think about how to ask about professions. The most common question is, "What do you do?" or "What is your job?" Both are correct and very natural.
And when you answer, you don't need to give a long explanation. You can simply say, I'm a student, or I work as a sales assistant. Simple answers are perfectly fine.
Sometimes people also ask, "Where do you work?" This is another easy question, and you can answer with the place or the type of company.
Exactly. You can say, I work in a hospital, I work in a restaurant, or I work for a small company. All of these answers are clear and natural.
Let's talk about professions and personality. Some jobs need patience, like being a teacher. Others need energy, like being a fitness trainer.
That's interesting because people often choose jobs that fit their personality. Someone who likes helping people might become a nurse or a social worker.
And someone who likes working alone might choose a job like writer or programmer. Talking about this in English can help you express your opinions.
For example, you can say, I like my job because it's interesting, or I don't like my job because it's very stressful. These sentences are simple but very useful.
Let's not forget about dream jobs. Many learners like to talk about what they want to be in the future. This is a great way to practice English.
Yes, you can say, I want to be a pilot, or I would like to work as a teacher in another country. These sentences help you talk about goals and plans.
And even if your dream job changes, it's still good practice. Talking about professions helps you learn verbs, places, and descriptions.
I agree. Also, when you listen to other people talk about their jobs, you learn new words naturally without memorizing long lists.
Before we finish, let's quickly review. Today, we talked about many professions, how to describe them, and how to ask and answer questions about jobs.
We also talked about different types of work, like office jobs, physical jobs, creative jobs, and technology jobs, using simple and clear English.
Remember, you don't need perfect English to talk about your profession. Simple sentences are enough to communicate well.
That's very important. Confidence comes from practice, not from perfection. The more you talk about your job in English, the easier it becomes.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed learning about professions and feel more confident using this vocabulary.
Yes, thank you for being with us today. Keep practicing, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next episode.